This is the kind of article that drives me. I'm sorry, if you're watching on TV, I'm shaking my finger. This is the kind, I don't mean to shake my finger at you. You're very nice people. But this is the kind of thing that drives me absolutely nuts. What am I referring to? I'm referring to a publication in the World Economic Forum website. Now, you may know the World Economic Forum from its most famous event, the Global Financial Elite Conference at Davos in Switzerland. So the World Economic Forum is, in fact, the voice of the global economic elite. And here is what we learn, or what we see on the weforum.org website the other day. A headline reading, "Here's what business can learn from Buddhism." Now, I used to write pretty regularly on Buddhism and other religious stuff, spiritual stuff, I should say. I don't do it much anymore. I haven't done it lately. But, and by lately, I mean like 8 years. Okay. But you see this a lot from time to time, how business really can benefit from various kinds of spirituality. In fact, I think it was 2012, I wrote a piece that got me in a lot of hot water in certain circles comparing. There's a kind of mindfulness conference called Wisdom 2.0, takes place every year, and I kind of pointed out the conference's corporate organizers and a very pro-corporate ethos behind some, not all, but some of the presentations. There's this constant effort to try to hijack spirituality and put it in service of profit or the business culture. Now, this particular article or commentary in the World Economic Forum focuses on nonprofits as well as for-profit businesses. But, you know, the focus of it is pretty much the same. It says things like this. First, it begins by saying millennials have a different attitude to work than their elders, etc., etc., etc. Businesses wanting to attract the best millennial talent might therefore... First of all, have you seen the unemployment rate among millennials, people? Okay, sorry, I got carried away there. Businesses wanting to attract the best millennial talent might therefore learn a few lessons from ancient spiritual teachings, such as those of Buddhism. They point out that Buddhism was designed to achieve spiritual liberation in the world, from the world, but nevertheless, they say organizations can re-energize their employees by aligning in the way they measure performance with the principles of Buddhism. They could also improve productivity, an important a measure of economic activity and living standards. It always gets down to productivity in these conversations. It's always about how spiritual practices, whether it's meditation or awareness or mindfulness, can be used to make people more productive. And it's never about changing the system somehow. It's always about making you a more content, compliant cog of the system. So they lament the fact that this is a world driven by maximizing profit, but nevertheless point out that nonprofits usually go by the same perverse incentives as some of the for-profit businesses. They go on to say that engagement makes people more productive. Mindfulness makes you more engagement. Some might think, they write, that spirituality and business should not be mixed in together. Gee, you think? They go on to say they should be seen as interdependent. Spiritual disciplines may very well offer insights into techniques for achieving lasting employee engagement. At the very least, ancient wisdom could offer some lessons for understanding what it means to seek and achieve higher meaning in your life. Okay, I'm going to go with that. If you want to achieve higher meaning in your life and you work for a business like ExxonMobil, here's a thought for you. Use your spirituality to become a whistleblower. If you work for certain corporations I shall not name for legal reasons, but the preceding corporation may be one of them, you could go for employing your spirituality by becoming a corporate saboteur, for example. Now, I can't come out and advocate that because I'd get in trouble, but a saboteur can be driven by the highest principles of selflessness and idealism and awareness and mindfulness, the very principles that spirituality is meant to encourage in the human individual. So let's say this: if you want to live a spiritual life, if that's your thing, don't use your spirituality to become a cog of capitalism. Use your spirituality and your mindfulness to overthrow it.